if you ain't sign on the dotted line. Can't buy my soul with no dollar signs. The industry so full of troglodytes. I don't follow trends. Run it up. Say that with my chest. Run it up. No, I will not bend. Run it up. Game time in it. Game time. I don't follow trends. Say that with my chest. I will not bend. Game time. Run it up. 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 You gotta put in that work, dog. I put the kingdom first.
The weather this time of year in the South, perfect. Fall football weather, and we've got the roof wide open here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in the heart of Georgia. Today, it's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the New Orleans Saints and the Atlanta Falcons. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. Cordarrelle Patterson to return it, bringing it out of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
At their own 15-yard line.
Go!
Now a first carry here for Robinson. And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down.
Well, they certainly came out firing in this one, and while that one was incomplete, I can't imagine that'll be the last shot that they take in this game.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. From the gun, here's Goff. Open man is Kyle Pitts, his tight end. And he is going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds it for the first down.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete. Touchdown, Falcons! Well, forget about the weapons out wide. He knows he's got another weapon in the backfield in the passing game, Charles, and he utilized him perfectly on that play.
And the offense coordinator showed me something on that play, Brandon, because so often during a game, our cameras find them looking down at their play sheets, and you wonder if they're absorbing anything. He had something specific in mind, and he went to it, and it worked well.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. Carr on first down. Olave over the middle. Breaks the tackle, now an alley. Still going. Inside the 20. Touchdown, Saints. Well, go ahead and strap in, partner. Less than 2 minutes in, had the score on the one side. A quick answer, though, to get the equalizer.
Sometimes you get that sense of urgency that ratchets up, right? When you give up an early touchdown like that, you just know you're like, okay, how do we go back and equalize things? Can we get it done fast? And they absolutely did. Essentially, we're back to even, aren't we?
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. From his end zone, here comes Patterson. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on third down.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Goff wants to throw on 3rd and 1. And that will be incomplete.
And this is what you want to see from a defense. Give up an opening drive touchdown, that's fine. But how about them going back out there, recommitting themselves to the task at hand, and forcing a 3 and out and giving the ball back to their offense?
Yard punt, a return of 5. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. Well, play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive that was the case. 1 play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Kamara gets it again on 2nd down. So not a lineman, but the tight end instead this time, drawing the holding call.
And more what you're getting with tight ends are guys who are much more receiver than blocker. They may be willing, but that might not be their thing. Oftentimes, they'll be the ones getting the penalties.
2nd down, and it's Kamara again. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46. Well, this defense for the Falcons, they were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there. And they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Working from the gun, it's Carr. He'll get this to his running back, Benjamin. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Move the chains, a gain of 7 on 3rd down. On 1st down, Carr. He's got it at the 15. Touchdown, New Orleans. Taysom Hill, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Saints have moved out in front. Lutz good on the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goal. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And this is picked up by the Saints. Obviously, you got to hold on to the football, but I've got to give credit to the defense there. Good job of knocking it free.
Yeah, because a lot of the time we just blame the offensive players for not taking care of it. How about the effort of the defensive players knowing that guys are going to, and if they're good, anticipate the contact coming and try and cover up the football. And they still find ways to knock it free.
Now Carr On the bootleg. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Third touchdown pass now for Derek Carr. And the Saints are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. And the kick makes it through, but flags come flying in as well. It appears we're going to get a roughing call tacked on. And that flag accepted. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. No return here for Patterson, so they'll begin things at the 25-yard line. Play action. It's Goff. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. Well, these two teams, they met up way back in the season opener, and it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. On 2nd and 10, Goff. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure, or do they play coverage on this down?
Throwing on 3rd, Goff. He's going deep for Brown. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, we saw plenty of that during his much-heralded college career. He parlayed that into becoming a first-round selection, and now here he is making interceptions in the National Football League.
And this is a guy that has all the physical tools, but the thing that sets him apart is what he's got between his ears. And that's the sixth sense for knowing where the football is going. Just an excellent play there to create the turnover.
On 2nd down, Kamara fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
On play action, now Carr. He is going to find Hill here. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking of throwing to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. They stay on the ground. This time it's Kamara. And not much room to speak of. He'll get about 3 up to the 41. A pretty wild first quarter. 21-7, our score. And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary, now on 3rd. Throwing now is Carr. He's got a man open. It's Chase Claypool. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 33. Excellent play there on 3rd down. Give them 25 yards. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10. Down at the 33. To throw, it's Carr. Claypool with another catch. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Carr's throw caught by his receiver, Hill. And out of bounds right around the 20. 2 touchdowns for him already in this first half. This one good for a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Into the red zone, it's Carr. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. And they're knocking on the door now as a good run there going to take this to about the 10-yard line. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up first and goal. To throw his Carr. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4.
Boy, that was certainly well-read defensively. And the key to any screenplay is space to work. And there was none to be found there. And they tackle him for just a short gain.
And just one man in the backfield here. That's Kamara, second and goal. Play action. Now it's Carr. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Carr now on third and goal. Touchdown! Making 4 touchdown passes now for Derek Carr. And the Saints take a 3-touchdown lead. Lutz with the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Certainly not what they wanted there, so the football by rule comes out to the 40. Well, you don't see that often. He just mishit it, and it goes out of bounds.
Well, I know sitting up here, and I'm looking at you, and you're looking at me, and I know we're both thinking the same thing. Isn't it easy enough to keep it between the socks?
And he's going to be taken down. Goff is sacked. Alontae Taylor. Give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Goff. He's going to float this one deep right side. Oh, he catches it off the tip. It wasn't even intended for him. And they're going to get this down inside the 20. When you think of guys that are built to be big-arm quarterbacks, Jared Goff, he fits that mold, and he showed it off right there. From the red zone now, Goff. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're saying.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Off play action. Here's Goff. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
They haven't been able to stop them so far this series, but getting a nice little stand from their defense now.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Back to throw. Goff. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And they're going to get him down shy of the 1st at about the 13-yard line. Facing this big first-half deficit, they keep the field goal unit on the sideline. They're going for it. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete. The Falcons go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Saints will have the football back. Now a play fake. Carr. Escaping the pressure right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Carr. He'll get this one underneath to Kamara. Shows off the quick feet as he takes this one up to the 20. The Saints on 3rd down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. So on 4th down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. Cordero Patterson deep for Atlanta. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They've got some stuff to build on from that last drive because they moved the football, CD, and then they tried to go for it on 4th down, didn't convert, probably left a bitter taste in their mouths.
I would say so, and I think that they go out in this series determined for that not to happen again. In fact, they don't even want to get to a 4th down opportunity. They just want to make sure they get it done within the parameters that they've set for themselves. Run their offense, get it into the end zone. Yeah, I think a little bit of determination and a dash of anger. When you're a capable runner, oftentimes your quarterback coach, your offensive coordinator, they love to see you break the pocket and go ahead and take off. I think he could have gotten vertical and picked up something there. Instead, he pushed it downfield. Incomplete.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Goff towards the end zone for Brown. And it'll be intercepted. And the Saints are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Not the best of plays there as a quarterback. You're right-handed, rolling left, trying to throw it that far downfield.
I remember a coach of mine saying, son, that's the equivalent of trying to get the car keys out of your pocket with your opposite hand while you're trying to run. You just can't do it.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. From the gun, it's Carr. He's going to let this one go deep. He's got a man, complete. Touchdown, New Orleans. Chris Olave. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Saints are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Well, only the 2 catches for him thus far, CD, but both of them have resulted in touchdowns.
And I think he's on the bench right now, Brandon, smiling at his position coach and telling him, all those times you talked to us about efficiency, I'm living it right now.
Lutz good on the extra point, and a rout is on here in this first half. Patterson going to bring this out of the end zone. A lane opens here. He's past the 30. The 40. Cordero Patterson on the loose. And they are not going to catch him. He's in. Touchdown, Falcons.
And as we've talked to special teams coaches, that theme of being aggressive continues to come through, doesn't it? When they moved the kickoff back to the 35, it was going to cut down on the number of opportunities. But if you've got a special guy, you give him the green light no matter where he fields it in the end zone. And in this case, it paid off handsomely.
He fielded it deep in the range of emotions. Maybe like, oh, no, don't. And then all of a sudden you see him break it, and you're like, yeah, way to go.
Yeah, sometimes you have to remind your head coach that he approved the green light for bringing it out from deep in the end zone. And that's exactly why he did.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that could change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
What now?
Shotgun now for Carr. He's going to float this one deep right side. It's caught at the 10. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Now Carr. And it's caught. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Now we got 3rd and goal coming up, and couldn't you imagine being in that huddle, partner? You know they're looking at each other saying, we can't come away with just 3 points after this drive.
Yeah, they've covered a lot of ground. They want more than that. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Alvin Kamara in the final seconds of the first half. And the Saints would extend their lead here just before halftime. Lutz with the extra point, and a rout is on here in this first half. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. From his end zone, here comes Patterson. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2.
Hold on. Hey, Coach Hill!
A final shot before break here. Goff. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Set now to go for the 3rd quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. Now this will be a return from deep in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
At their own 15-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
To throw again on 2nd down. Carr. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after the last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free. And it brings up 4th down. Here comes the Saints punter now. Standing just about on his own goal line. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. And he'll take it just outside the 40. They'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return. And it will be Falcon football. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
And yet again, Goff is intercepted. Picked up by Pete Werner. And the Saints are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game. But that's something right there. Still in the third quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. And some space here. And he makes it all the way down to the 13-yard line. 87 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. So 3 plays, already first and goal, and they are wasting little time. Carr. And that one going to come up short. Low throw.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
On second and goal, Carr. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Chase Claypool, his first touchdown on the year. And the Saints have taken a 5-touchdown lead. A familiar refrain, a turnover leads to a touchdown, and that lead grows even wider now here in this third quarter.
Yeah, partner, I'd say there are a lot of grins breaking out on that sideline because, let's face it, they came in thinking they were in for a real fight in this game, but this one's been about as one-sided as we've seen in a while. In addition, if you're a backup, time to start stretching and loosening up. You may get some playing time in this one.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Patterson going to bring this out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19. Probably should have opted for the touchback. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. On third down, he'll drop to throw. Got a man, it's London. And they will rally and stop him short of the first down. They get him to the ground at the 26. The Falcons send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the second time. Fielded just inside the 30. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And they will take over first and 10. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of...
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Adrian Phillips. And the Falcons are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line.
The Falcons take over first down.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. He's going deep for Brown. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down. An incomplete pass on second down leads us to third and inches. Robinson will try to pick it up. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling. Back to Robinson now on first down. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3. And it's second down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's second and 7. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Rolling to his left. Looking for his receiver. Sharp, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. That, Charles, the first interception he's thrown here in year number 2.
And I know it's just the first one, but didn't it feel like what we saw from him last year, where he was plagued by this type of a play? And they thought that, you know, over the offseason, going into a second season, some of that would go away. Thus far, still looks a lot like his rookie year.
Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. They fake the handoff. Now Carr. Touchdown, Saints. Chris Olave. His third touchdown of the game and 4th on the year. And the Saints have taken a 6-touchdown lead. The PAT would extend their lead, but there is a flag on the play. So they'll go ahead and accept the penalty. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. From his end zone, here comes Patterson. And he doesn't even get this to the 10. He's taken down at the 9.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
That's out wide here for Robinson. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. That's into the hands of Pitts, the tight end. And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. A loss on that play, and now third down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
52. Field black.
Now back to throw. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. The Falcons send out their punter, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. Powering forward. This will be a 41-yard punt, 3 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because...
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
93.
Now Carr. Open man, completes it to Claypool. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Carr going to throw. This one taken in by Olave. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. Last play went for over 30 yards. This one not quite as big, but still over 20. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Working from the gun, it's Carr.
A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete. But their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach, and maybe you and I should attend that press conference to see what he has to say because someone's going to ask him why he continued to push it. My guess, he didn't like how some of the snaps were run earlier, and he wanted to use that as a touchdown.
Chris Olave. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Saints look like they're about to put an end to their 2-game losing streak as they add on to their lead. Lutz good on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
Patterson going to bring this out of the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore.
And the Saints are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. Well, this game was already decided, Charles, let's be honest. But now another feather in the cap of this defense as they pick them off for the second time.
You're right about that. Things have been going pretty well for them, to put it mildly. But they're still out there hunting for big plays and get another one right there.
He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone.
And this ball incomplete. Looked very much to be a catchable ball and could not hang on. Second down coming up.
Now Carr. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Back to Kamara for another catch.
And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that'll make it second down.
At the 8-yard line.
Here's Carr to throw.
They'll get this out to Kamara.
Touchdown, Saints. Alvin Kamara from 8 yards out.
And the Saints look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this fourth quarter.
And his kick is good, and flags fly as well. Some frustration showing through right now. This is going to be a roughing call. Ooh, a little cruel here. They're going to go for the onside kick up big. And a good job here by the Falcons. Their hands team able to recover it. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it.
Well, this is intercepted. They get Ritter for the third time.
And the Saints are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line.
Well, let's face it, Brandon, they're down here in the second half. Want to try and make something happen, and if you're the guy with the ball in your hands, you're going to try even harder, because I think all he was trying to do was to get outside the pocket and see if he can find a big play downfield.
Now a play fake. Carr. He completes it to Olave. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
That's a gain of 20. First down, Saints.
Carr now on first down. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off. And the Falcons are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly... And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. A young quarterback, Charles, rolling to his right. I know he's right-handed, but is that one that maybe a veteran sticks in his pocket?
I think so, but you have to remember with young quarterbacks, it may take a few years before they get all the stuff out of them that they did earlier in their career or even in their college days when they were used to being dominant. In this case, the NFL veteran defense ended up winning the battle.
First and goal at the 2-yard line.
Now flags will come in. And I think this is against the Saints up front. And they'll try again here, first and goal after the false start. On play action, it's Carr. And give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. He was on point throwing the ball right there. He had the big play to get him down close, and then he delivers a touchdown pass on first and goal.
And you mentioned the big play that got him down close. I think that big play left him reeling a little bit. They didn't recover from it. And you know they always talk about having to have a short memory on defense after a big play against you. Looks like their memory was a little too long there. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. It's a squib kick that still makes its way down inside the 15. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
Ready.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is...
And now here is another interception. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go.
A gain of 14.
Carr going to throw here. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. But, Charles, in this win, they've really just had one speed, and that's been all out. They're still driving the ball downfield despite the circumstances and the big lead, and they just continue to find ways to get into the end zone with ease.
They're certainly in that zone where almost everything they try is successful and often leads to points. Teams don't get those types of games very often, so when they do, many of them just want to take advantage of it to the last second.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. From his end zone, here comes Patterson. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
Ready, play.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is end the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. Ritter and the Falcons need an answer and a big play here on 3rd and long following the sack. Looking to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
You always think about picking up the first down, but in this case, they were thinking about something bigger. They were thinking about the home run shot and took it downfield. Unable to connect, but admire the effort.
So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. Call that a 41-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit 000.
Help! Ready? Hey, we're good.
Carr going to look to throw. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Adrian Phillips. And the Falcons come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over.
Your energy, I don't like it. I don't like the fake handshake, snake tendency. You an enemy. All them lies you telling, I can't let that be the end of me. No, probably cause your girl feeling me. It's a flag on the play, all these catching penalties. Look, I don't like your energy. I don't like the fake handshake, snake tendency. Let's go. Don't make me jog your man.